Hi everyone, Jon Mitchell here, Mayor of New Bedford, and this is another installment of the Mayor's Weekly Update. So, two things on the front burner this week. COVID, of course, for starters. Right now we're seeing a dip in new cases, which is good. It's just that this dip comes from a very, very high point, by far the highest surge in the pandemic. We were averaging last week roughly 350 cases a day, which is nearly 3 times, it's actually more than 3 times the highest it's ever been in previous surges. So we're glad it's coming down. There's just still an awful lot of disease out there. And we've had, of course, a number of people who have died. Virtually every single one of them is unvaccinated, and everyone except one in the last several weeks was under-vaccinated. That is to say, they didn't have a recent booster. So it goes to show again, and you've heard it from me before, but I would not be doing my job if I said anything less, that the vaccines work. And if you've been vaccinated but not boosted, you should get your booster. The boosters do matter. And I think there are a number of people out there that might not know that the original vaccines, the initial shots, wear off after some period of time. So if you're 6 months out from your shot, it's time to get a booster, especially if you've got some underlying health condition. So I really encourage you to do that. We've got vaccine clinics going on all through next week as well. So of all the things that we deal with right now, mask wearing, social distancing, everything, all the things that are in place, the biggest thing you can do for yourself right now is get vaccinated, and especially boosted if you've already gotten your vaccine. So you can take a look on the city's website for the listings of those vaccines, or you can just call the health department and find out where those clinics are. I want to talk about the snowstorm because it's a big one. It's probably the biggest one we've had in at least a couple of years. It's projected to dump over a foot of snow on the city, and we're getting ready. Fortunately, it's happening on the weekend, so there won't be nearly as many things canceled, but there will be things like vaccine clinics that will be canceled and other stuff, and so you should just listen up for posting. One really important thing to do is to make sure that you adhere to the parking ban. There will be a parking ban in place. You should plan on, just stay tuned for when that will be put in place. We're going to wait a little bit more to find out when the snow starts, but we think it'll start very late on Friday night or early on Saturday morning. So keep an eye out for that. The other thing I would just say is, again, like the last storm, I just would urge you to be patient with the cleanup for a few reasons. One, it's a lot of snow. Second, there will be a lot of blowing around and drifting, and so plowed streets might fill back up again. But the other reason is that we city government still have a number of people out, including plow drivers, who've tested positive for COVID. And so we're not going to have as many trucks out there as we ordinarily would, and so it's going to take some time. And we're not going to see a quick melt, unfortunately, this time around. So it's going to require people moving their cars to the right places, and then just a whole lot of patience. So I would ask everyone to keep that in mind, and to, where you can, to help out your neighbors to make sure that they're safe and sound. So that's for this week's storm. Stay tuned for more on that. And that's been, we'll dig it out, and I presume we'll be back in business on Monday morning. So thank you for your anticipated patience on that, and more information to come. This has been the Mayor's Weekly Update. We'll see you next week.
My father instilled in me the commitment to hard work. He came to this country from Michoacan as a farm worker. My mother and my father had COVID early on. In order to stay safe and be around our players and my family, I took the vaccine. An hour after, I got a workout in. I may not be anybody in this world, but when people have an interaction with me, I provide my best. Maya is 5 years old. We coach her. Others are important. Believe in health, in loving other people. That's what we do.